Good evening, everyone. This evening, we're going to look at task 8 of the Business Environment exam, which is the last task of this exam. So hopefully you can see my screen, and we're going to work our way through this one. This is one of the automatically marked tasks here. So whilst we're at it, let's get cracking. So here we've got a pick list type question. And you can see down here the options that we've got. So we've got choice of codes, demand, higher, legislation, lower, saving, spending, and supply. And we have to choose the ones that fit here and make the most sense. So extra government something and something taxes can result in more something in the economy and lead to higher output and employment. So if government spends more money, so extra government spending, say, for example, they give more money on benefits, or they spend more money on construction projects, which then lead to employment, it will put money into the economy. Or if they lower taxes, that will mean that people pay less tax, therefore they have more money in their pocket, therefore they will have more money to spend. And that will lead to higher demand in the economy, because they can buy stuff, like they can buy a new car, go on holiday, do a house improvement, that sort of thing, if they've either got more money from the government spending money or the government taking less money off them in the way of taxes. And lastly, government can pass legislation protecting consumers and workers, or restricting where businesses can build new premises, planning laws and things like that. So that's part A. Let's move on to part B. So a fall in the value of the pound means £1 buys more dollars. This means the pound is appreciated in value and becomes stronger. Is this true or false? Well, if the value of the pound has fallen, that is actually false. So you'll get less dollars per pound because the value of the pound has fallen, as did happen not so long ago. Whereas an increase in the value of the pound means that you can get more dollars. So for every pound, you get more dollars that you can spend in America when you're going to Florida, Disneyland, and things like that. That means that the value of the pound has appreciated. So that is true. Now, the next one is a tricky one. If the pound appreciates in value, inputs will cost more. True or false? Well, in fact, that is actually false, because if your pound appreciates in value, you can get more foreign currency for your money. It means that either you can buy more for the same price because your money goes further abroad, or if you buy the same amount, it will cost you less in English pounds because you don't need to spend as many pounds to equal the same amount of foreign currency. So that is false. Last couple in part B. Trading internationally can provide access to resources that may not be available in the home country. That is true. So, for example, there's lots of like rare earth minerals and things like that we just don't have in the UK. We have to import them, and they come from Africa and Australia and places like that because we just don't have access to them. And lastly, technology developments have contributed to the increase in international trading. That is true. Just think of Amazon. You buy stuff on there, it's not necessarily coming from the UK. Some of it, especially if you don't get it with Prime, some of the stuff can come from China. It takes 2 or 3 weeks, but you're buying from people who, before the internet and things like that, you would never ever have bought from. So the technology and e-commerce and things like that, blockchain, maybe it means you're dealing with people overseas in different currencies. It just makes it a lot easier, and so people do it more. That was part B. Not too bad. Lastly, rather frustratingly, it does go over 2 pages, so we'll zoom out a little bit, see if we can do that. Let's continue so we can see this a little bit better. So here we've got our USP. What is our USP? It stands for unique selling point. So that is a unique benefit exhibited by a company, product, or brand that able to stand out. No one else does that. So next one, competitors. What are competitors? So competitors are a rivalry between 2 or more parties striving for this common goal, which cannot be shared, i.e. They're normally looking for the same customers. They want to spend money with them rather than with their competitors. Next one, trading block, without getting too political. So a trading block is, we zoom down here, a group of countries that work together to provide special deals for trading. So there might be no fees from moving one country to others, no levies and things like that, special rules. That's a trading block. We won't go open up that can of worms. Next one, uncertainty and risk. So we've got two options left, two answers. So we've got a 50-50 chance of getting it right. So uncertainty is your inability to predict the outcome from an activity due to the lack of information. You just don't know. So you can't say that that is going to happen or that one's 90% going to happen. You don't know. There is no information to say otherwise. Whereas risk is where you do have the possible variations in outcome and you know what's expected to happen. So whilst you don't know if it'll happen, you know the likelihood of it because you've got previous information. So you know, I don't know, there's a 1 in 100 chance of being hit by a car. It's a risk, but you know what the odds are based on past information. Whereas, you know, what's the likelihood of finding aliens on another planet? We don't know. We haven't got any past information to say that. So that was an uncertainty. So that is task 8 of your business environment exam. If you do it in order, that'll be the last question that you will see. But obviously, as we know with AAT exam, you don't have to do them in order. Cool. I hope you found that useful. If anyone does have any questions, queries about AAT or anything in general, you can drop me an email at aat@fi.co.uk and I'm more than happy to help out where I can.